Welcome to Magical Moments with Alena Chapman, the place for you to break free from the norm and celebrate your life, because what we believe in our hearts becomes our reality. This is Magical Moments with Alena Chapman.
Welcome to Magical Moments. You know, it's all about that ease and betterment in your life. It's so important. It keeps you in the flow. It keeps you feeling good. But you got to have those tools, and that's why we're here. I'm Alena Chapman, and I'm your host. And I'm the founder of Soul Manifesto, so you know. And what I do is I help you to reach that divine, beautiful inner essence of yourself and to connect to something higher so that you know that you are this incredible being of the universe. And you never feel alone, and there's an inner peace. That's what Soul Manifesto is all about. That's what I'm all about. And I'm your host for Magical Moments. Today is Ask Alena. And I'm very excited about this because you guys, you're asking cool questions. You are asking incredibly good questions. This one right here, this is from Alita. Alita, thank you. You opened the door to so many questions that people really have in their heart. And it says right here, can you please explain how to manifest or about manifestation? I definitely can do that. Manifesting, you know, it's so funny. We always feel like, number one, that we have to strive and try so hard. And, you know, it really isn't about that. I know the law of attraction, you'll always hear, you know, well, you just have to let go. And people don't believe it. But manifesting is, okay, I'm going to start with a little story that's so cool. You know, seeds. Let's talk about seeds, all right, of a tree. Now, if I have a seed, it is everything it needs, and it knows it. It knows that it's going to be a willow tree. That's what it's going to be. It doesn't say to itself, oh, maybe I'll be a maple, or do I really have what it takes to be a willow tree? No, it doesn't say that. It just says, I'm a willow tree and this is what I am. And I have everything I need to be that willow tree. What we don't always understand is that we have what the Tao says. The Tao is the way by Lao Tzu. You can look that up. It's a wonderful book. It's the way. I always think it's the way to God, but that's my own personal opinion. The way. And it says you have the anchor of the universe in you. You have the whole universe anchored in you. You are like that tiny seed that wants to be the willow tree. Anything you need is inside you. You cannot imagine, you cannot dream of something that is not inside you. You just can't. Unless you start building on it, but then it becomes a part of you. You know, if you want to be famous, let's do that. All right, but you don't comprehend what that is, but you know deep inside that you were meant to be famous. I had someone tell me one day, and actually there was a star who said he always knew he was going to be famous. Anthony Hopkins, I think it was. And the thing is, that's inside him. He feels it. He knows it. It's grained in. That's what we have to do with our goal. We grain it in by affirmations, by taping wonderful things and playing it back that we're going to be an international bestseller or we're going to be a movie star, whatever it is. But it's building that belief, because when you build that, you become the seed that has everything in it. Everything. And that seed then falls on the ground and it plants itself in the earth. Again, it doesn't say, oh my gosh, now what? Now what do I do? It doesn't. It just knows that feels so good. I love this ground. Oh my gosh, I think there's food in this ground. I'm going to put out some roots and I am going to start growing into what I need to be. And it has all the confidence. It doesn't question. It doesn't put doubt in it. It doesn't put fear into it. And it just spreads its wings, or its roots, into the ground, and it starts soaking up water and nutrients. How many times when we get to the first step, we say, oh, is this right? Oh, should we really be doing this? Should I be taking this road or should I be taking this road? Oh my gosh, but maybe this isn't meant for me at all. How many times do we put the doubt in there? And every time we put the doubt in it, we put resistance in. And when we put resistance in, all of a sudden we are cutting ourselves off from that wonderful universal anchor we have inside. Every single time. It comes with trust. Trust. Now, then this seed says, okay, it's time. I am going to put out my stem. And this stem starts coming out from the seed. And it's going beautifully. And gosh, everything's smooth sailing. Oh my gosh, a rock. It hits a rock. Now, what does it do? Does it sit there and just pound at that rock, pound at it, trying to get through it, like we do so often, hitting our heads against a rock, just saying, it's got to be this way. It's got to be my way or the highway. This business has got to go this way. This love life has to go this way. This weight loss has to go this way. But you're not losing weight, your business isn't successful, and the love life is going into the wasteland. And yet you keep hitting the rock. Does the tree do that? No. The tree says, I guess I need to change a little. And it just turns and goes around the rock. It doesn't allow the rock to give the resistance and disconnect from that divine anchor of the universe. Do you see? As long as you know and trust the universe, then you're in the flow. And you understand there's a time for an obstacle. There's a time there's a time to rest. There's a time to focus. There's a time to move. You understand that all of this is in a bigger dimension than you could ever do. And here's a big, wonderful secret that we always forget, that the universe can create something. And by the universe, I'm talking God. I'm talking the angels. I'm talking about everything up there in the light. That can create something much bigger than we could even imagine if we allow it. But if we offer resistance every step of the way, it can't do its work. It can't work through us. It can't create. It can't be our anchor. It can't move us forward in the creation that we want and it wants. So that little stem of that tree goes around the rock, doesn't have the resistance, trusts that even though it goes around that rock, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And then it goes up to the ground. When it gets out, it says, oh my gosh, that sun feels so good. I just want to sprout. And it starts putting out these beautiful willow leaves. And it continues to grow and grow. And notice, the willow tree doesn't say, what's my 5-year plan? Which is nice to have, sort of. And what's my down number? What's my this? What's my that? It says, you know what? I love putting out my roots. I love putting out my stem. I love going around the rock. I love hitting that sunshine. In other words, I love the journey. I love all the learning steps I'm taking. I love the things that are happening that are not in my control, but I know that it's happening for me. My gosh, we are trained to critically analyze everything. We are trained through school and society, and it's true. Society and everything else, it puts rules. You got to do it this way. You got to analyze this way. My gosh, even social media. I always tell my son, you watch all these things that tear things down, but what about starting to build and trust and faith that it's going to happen? What happened to that? Why do you have to tear everything down? And why leave it there? We have to get into more of a trust of this beautiful energy inside of us and around us. In fact, in everything around us. And know that it's here to help and to be with us. And we're here. We're here to experience. We're here to try to move forward. We're here to create. And the only way the universe can really create is through us. So when we shut off that connection with resistance and doubt and fear and what if and I don't know if we're doing right, or beating our head against the wall, the universe can't flow through us. It can't help us to create, and it can't create the more beautiful thing that it even is going to produce through you if you allow it. So does that mean we sit on the couch? No. And I've heard people say that. Oh, I had $100 come to my door. Well, my gosh, if you had gotten up and maybe done an action in a way that you trust and move forward, you could have earned maybe $2 million. We have to be the tool that moves forward. We have to be the ones that create. But creating with trust and without doubt and enjoying the journey is really where the universe can work through you the most. It's interesting. I was just talking to Kayla about this, and I was talking about my own business. And I had built up a really good email list for my business. And this was even before I had Soul Manifesto. And then I, got really busy. And so I handed it off to other people. And it didn't matter what I was doing. It just seemed so hard. And then I found out, well, they're just not capable of doing what they're doing. They're putting a leak. They're not following through. They're saying we're doing all this, but the results, the results prove it. And the results are very low. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I could just say, okay, that's it. We're done. And many people do for something that small. We've hit a rock. I don't know how to get by it. My email list is now having problems. Okay, we're not getting where we want. This has been too hard. I'm going to let it go. This isn't meant to be. And what would that do? That would take all that creative flow that's inside of me, the beautiful universe that's trying to work through me, and all of a sudden, I've just switched it all off. I'm not there. I'm in my will. I'm feeling bad for myself. Woe is me. I'm a failure at business. Woe is me. I can't get anything right. Woe is me. I'll never try this again. Now, I know that sounds silly, but do you know that's what people do all the time? No, that's not what you do. It's a rock, and I'm the stem. My business is the stem. We've got a rock. We've got a little yucky rock. So what do we do with it? Well, we go around it. I'm going to take over the email list, get it back up where it's going to be. We're going to build it where I want it to be. We're going to just keep going, but we're going to do it in a different way. And we're going to take hold and trust. I am the seed. I have everything I need to accomplish what I want to accomplish. I have more than what I need. I have a whole universe anchored inside of me. And if I allow that flow, if I enjoy going around, if I enjoy the creating of how I'm going to go around, if I don't see the rock as a giant boulder, I can see it as yucky, but I'm going to dismiss it. I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm not going to keep beating my head against it. I'm going to enjoy going around, and I'm going to enjoy coming up with solutions and creativity on how we should morph it. And I do it through meditation. I don't do it with my mind saying, okay, this is what we're going to do next. No, I get quiet. Maybe I take a walk in the trees, or maybe I just sit at home with a nice hot cup of tea or a glass of wine, if I can say that. And I sit and I just say, okay, universe, God, Joan, my guide, I always talk to her. Joan, what should I do? What do you think? What's the next move? And it might not come to me right then, but a peace comes in and a trust. And then the next morning I wake up with this fabulous idea. Bring back what you used to do, Alena. People used to love those emails. They hung them on their refrigerator. I did great emails because I love it, And what would I do? I would download things from the universe. I'd sit there on Sunday and just download incredible messages that I knew that somebody out there needed. So it's time to do that again. And keep doing it, because that's going around the rock, and that's more true to what the universe is wanting from me, and it's more of what I enjoy doing. So now we've gone around the rock, and you know what? The ground is right there. I'm going to reach past that ground, and then I'm going to spread my wings. Not my wings, I keep saying that. My leaves. I'm a willow tree. So when I am going up there, we got to get our metaphors right here. When we're going up there, I'm just having faith and I'm enjoying it. That's really the essence of it. Everything I have ever done always happened in an incredible way when I was enjoying the ride. When you're in your car, for instance, this is funny, and I really do think this is important. When I'm in my car, I play music that just lifts me to the top of the world and up with the clouds and up where I think God is. Right now, I'm on this kick with Aaron Copland. I love Aaron Copland. He's a classical composer, and he incorporates all of Americana. So all the hope, the open horizons, anything is possible, that community. He has all that original Americana in his music, and it just lifts me up to this everything, the universe of all incredible opportunity. And I will look up at the sky and I will look at the trees and I will almost have a tear in my eye because of the wonderful miraculousness of it. And you cannot get a higher vibration or more in connection with the universe than when you are in a state of wonder and just loving. And I have to say, when I connect that strongly, then all of a sudden, things happen. When I was an unconscious competent, my gosh, that's when things would start happening. Then I was driving to the school, and the director of the school, the college, says, "Hey, you know what? I want you to start a women's choir." What? At first I'm thinking, what? But yet that was a gift from the universe. Little did I know that was going to lead me from 10 women to 75, and that some other wonderful conductor would hear it and say, "You need to get your doctorate," escort me all the way down and get me into the school with a full assistantship, didn't pay a dime, and I'm conducting choirs there on a collegiate level, really beautiful masterpieces I never thought I could conduct, and learning there and then applying it to my town and my college. Now that all comes from me loving and being connected in such a high way to the miraculous and the wonder, and being so grateful for what is before me. If you can take time in your day to start to really connect to something bigger than yourself, to form that, to really touch into that anchor of the universe and see the wonder, you don't have to manifest. The universe knows what's in your heart, and everything just starts to happen. I love doing these shows. I've been saying to Kayla, I love, love, love giving this information to you. And oh my gosh, I just got a call. Law of Attraction Network wants my show. Now, I didn't even know there was a Law of Attraction Network. But I am so happy there is. And it's with people who want to learn, who love the law of attraction, which is actually manifestation. Actually, it's a lot of things. It is this connection. But I wasn't thinking that's where it was going to go. And if I had gone with my will, well, sorry, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking AM, FM, or I was thinking this network or this network. And I stuck to it and I beat my head against the wall, then this would have never opened up for me. Sometimes it's just knowing. You are the seed. You have everything you need inside of you. I cannot stress that enough. And what it really takes more than anything is belief. Let go of the doubt. Let go of the fear. You don't need it. And when you do, the connection is pure. And it changes your life. It changes your life. Anthony Hopkins, I was listening to an interview from him, and he was saying when he was young, he used to always just say, I want to be famous. That's why I was on the famous thing, because I was listening to him. He said, I don't know how. He says, I feel like I'm living a dream because I just believe that everything that's supposed to happen will happen. And it does. He says, yeah, I work hard. Yes, I love my craft. I love what I do. But I feel like I'm living a dream. And that's what it feels like, folks. It feels like a dream. Half the time, many people don't even believe you, that it could be like it is. They think you have some magic potion or you have a rabbit's foot. My mother used to say, you have a rabbit's foot in your pocket. I don't have a rabbit's foot. I don't believe that really does give you fortune. Maybe fertility or something, but not fortune. I could not see that working, but I do have this incredible wonder and belief that everything will be the way it's supposed to be, and I will always be okay. I will always be fine. I don't have to worry because I know the universe is there for us and for me. So when I think about where I want to be, I always open it up to the universe inside. If I want to be an international best-selling author, I say, you know what? I want this to touch millions. I want to help people to change their life for the better and have that ease and flow and to really connect to something so much bigger than themselves. They deserve that. How do I help them? How do I get it out there? And the universe is bringing in all these different ways for me to do that. And me, I'm just going to enjoy the ride. Perfect my craft, be better at it every day, learn and grow the best way I can, and then I'm letting the universe take care of the rest. I'm not going to get in the way. That is what manifestation really, really, really is. And that's where you can start to enjoy life. There is a lot of ease and flow. It's interesting. It's a matter of control. I was just thinking about this. I was taking my kids to school. Well, my youngest son, all right, doesn't feel the need to do a thing. I gave him his lunch money and I said, now go to the business office and put it in the account. I get an email. Your son is delinquent in his account. I said, honey, where's that money I gave you to do that? He said, well, I don't know. I said, well, you better find it because you got to put it in. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to come to your rescue. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take care of everything for you. And you never have to worry. Control. Like I'm the big giant savior. But I know in my heart that that child who's growing into a man has everything he needs. And I am not his savior. Do you see? And by me always taking control of him or everything in my business or everything with my love life, by me taking more into control, I'm depriving of him of learning that he has that incredible seed inside of him and that he has the anchor of the universe and he knows exactly what to do. So I don't. Now I hear from the school, Mrs. Chapman, your son. I also hear, Mrs. Chapman, your son is not handing in this assignment. The kid's brilliant. He can do, he doesn't even have to hand in homework and he gets 100. But he does need to hand in the homework. I'm not excusing it. However, I'm not going to sit there and say, all right, I'm going to watch you do your homework. Oh, as a matter of fact, I'm going to help you do your homework. Oh, just give me that paper and I'm going to do it for you. Number one, I don't even think I could do that. But number two, why would I Why would I deprive him of learning an extremely valuable lesson and understand when there's ease and when there's not? And when they're feeling good and when people are hassling because you're not living up to your potential at all. Why would I take the chance away from him to start depending on that beautifulness in him, what he's capable of? So instead, I look at him and I say, you have everything. You have everything you need inside you to be successful. Why are you turning it off? And he just looks at me. But guess what? He gets into that business office and he pays his lunch and the homework starts to be done. But I didn't take control. I didn't take control. So if you truly want to manifest, let's sum this up. Start to have belief. Start to really look inside. Start connecting to something. Start playing Aaron Copland, for heaven's sakes, or whatever floats your boat, something that reaches that wonder. Take a look at that beautiful sky. Start to get the awe. Start to connect to something bigger than yourself. And believe. Believe that you are that seed. And stop beating your head. Stop doubting. Stop the fear. Stop thinking you are the only one in control. And just allow the creativity, the state of creativity, and the universe, because that's the only place it can touch you, is in the present and creating over and around the rocks, around the difficulties, and just enjoy the journey. That's all you have to do. And you are manifesting more than your wildest dreams could ever imagine. I'm Alena Chapman, and you're listening to Magical Moments. And I'll tell you, I can't give you anything better there than that ease and betterment I just gave you.
This is Magical Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you find your ease and betterment. Stay tuned for more of this week's featured interview.
Welcome back to Magical Moments for that ease and that betterment in your life. Every show, we really do think about those magical little nuggets that help you to have that ease and flow and betterment, because we're meant to have flow in our life. That's the Tao, you know. You see the tree, the beautiful, sturdy, big tree. But when the wind blows, that tree will bend. And then it'll come back. And if it doesn't bend, it breaks. Having the flow is like that tree. You bend. And it's okay. And then you just come back when you want to, or you grow bigger, you know? So that's what we offer on this show. And also, I do want to say, if you want to learn more about your host, Alena Chapman, feel free. Go to soulmanifesto.com. It is a group. It is a community that I have. You'll find out really cool things. The emails are going to be fabulous because I do the emails personally, and they're not all promotion. I'm so sick of people promoting stuff. And so I really want to, I want to download messages for you and give you those incredible things that you can hold on during the week. So there is email, but also on top of that, you see all the little community, the big community that we're growing. It's all about you connecting to something bigger than yourself. So that's soulmanifesto.com. All right. Today is Ask Alena. And we just talked about manifestation. And I mean the true manifestation. Not the Santa Claus manifestation, but the true manifestation. Now, this next question is along those lines, but I like this question because it's very direct, and I think many of you will connect to this. She says, and this one doesn't have a name, and I don't know if this is a she or a he, but I am a co-business owner. My partner wants to take a leap or an opportunity for growth. I, on the other hand, there you go right there. I'm scared that if we grow, we won't be able to have the quality we have now. What should I do? Okay. And by the quality, I'm going to take a leap of faith here. I think what you mean is you won't be able to offer the kinds of service, the the one-on-one, maybe the one-on-one, that kind of care. I get it. You get so big and it becomes corporate. Okay, so you've got actually, it's really funny. You've got the fear of success. And that's actually a category. There's fear of failure, fear of non-conforming, and fear of success. And you're not alone. However, your partner doesn't seem to have that fear. So you have a little bit of at odds. Now, I don't know the opportunity. I don't know exactly what it is, but I take it that you are growing. And it seems like that's what it's doing, and that's what you want every business to do. And no matter what you do, if the universe is saying, we're going to grow this, then you're going to be coming against this a lot until you deal with what is the issue that you're fearful of. And you say the quality. So take a look at that. Is that real? Sit down. I'm big on sitting down with a glass of wine or a cup of tea or sitting out under a tree. What I'm trying to say to you is you got to take time to think about this. You got to take time to sit and internalize this and just go inside. Why? There is a wonderful Tao meditation. I love this. I love this meditation. This is a little bit different. And no, you don't have to go into a total you don't have to do that. But you do have to take 3 deep breaths. And you do have to relax, like your shoulders and your hips, just get there. And then when you get to that point, then you see an energy ball enter in to your skull, your crown. And then you're going to be assessing. You're visualizing this. Well, pretty powerful, actually. You're visualizing going down your body and seeing if there are blocks. I did this the other day. I had a block right in my heart chakra, right in my heart. Yes, even me. I get those blocks too. You will probably have a block about this growth. Now, I'll tell you how I dealt with it. So here I have a block. Now, right then and there, I address that block. I address whatever it is that's blocking me. And I learn about it, I think about it, and then I say, okay, I want to let this go. And I disperse it up to the universe. I let it go. And then I move that energy ball down further. Now, it may take 2 or 3 of these cleansing type of meditations, but you can disperse it, and it gives you a chance to say, is this real? If I already know about this problem of lack of quality, well, why can't we get that prepared now? Why can't we be sure that when the time comes, we'll have the people that can offer the care that we need? Is that really a valid fear? Can't we grow when the company grows? Can't we start preparing for that growth, build the foundation so that when the company starts to really go, we take this opportunity, and meanwhile, we're building that foundation to support what we think is going to happen? What's wrong with that? So that fear you're having is a little bit deeper. That's why I'm saying to do this meditation, because you'll find out the real key, and maybe that'll be in your throat chakra, in speaking, your power. Or maybe your heart, what you love. Or maybe lower, maybe it's in your foundational first chakra, where it's all your foundation of your home and your beliefs. Wherever it is, you can address it in calm and observing kind of way, and then decide to disperse it when you're ready and break that block. Isn't that cool? I love that meditation. And that, like I said, was a Tao meditation that I do. And I do it with clients too. So try that. You have everything you need. You don't have to pay a psychologist or a psychiatrist. You can do it. You just have to have the tools. And I also want to talk about this business thing, because obviously you have both been manifesting for to be able to have these opportunities come into your life. That kudos, that is fantastic. That is what everybody wants. Now you just have to work through the blocks, because it's not the opportunity that's the rock in the middle of the ground. When you're growing up with your stem, you're growing from a seed. I'm going back to the metaphor we used in the first half. And so all of a sudden you're going up, and all of a sudden this opportunity hits. Who would think that would be a rock? Well, it's not. It's your block that's the rock. And do you know how many times that really happens? It's the block. It's not the situation. This is really big, because we love to label situations as bad, good, fearful, miraculous. But you got to remember, situations and material things, I don't like labels. I really don't. I'm learning more and more not to like labels, because labels, you limit it. You put I put you in this category, and I have fear of success. So I have fear that we're not going to be able to grow. So there it is. And you're stuck there. I labeled it. I gave it to it, but I'm not taming it. I'm using it as my crutch. Dissolve it. Deal with it. Dissolve it. Don't let it become the rock. Okay? That's really, 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 really big. It's really interesting to me. Many times we get in our own way. It's when I was a kid, I didn't know why. I was in, I'll give you a little reference. I was in second grade. There were two things that were happening in second grade. Poor Sister Helen. She didn't know what to do with me. First of all, I would hum. I instinctively knew inside myself, again, that anchoring of the universe, that if I hummed, I would keep the letters or the numbers of the math in order. Otherwise, I would take off and write. I've told you that. I would start to... 3 had its own personality. 6 and 7 were dating as far as I was concerned. I made up a story. But if I hummed, I would do the math problem, but she wouldn't let me hum. She didn't understand. When I went home, I would be ushered into the room with a record player. Yes, we had record players back then. And I would listen to this phonetic record player, the phonetic letters. Elephant, Indian. And I would do that every day, and it was boring, and I didn't understand why I had to do this, but I would do it because my mom said this was important for me to learn. And then when I was in high school, I would study in my room with Barbra Streisand playing on the record player, some show playing on TV. I'd be on my bed. I'd have books all around me, read a little English, do this a little. I was bebopping to the music and singing. And my father came into the room and he said, "Alena, I think it's time we learn how to focus." And he did. And he sat me down with an alarm clock. And I said, "Dad, I don't like this." And he said, "Yeah, but just try it." And he had me say I was going to do math. And he said, "I want you to do all your math in 20 minutes. I said, "That's impossible." He said, "Try it. And anything you don't finish, you can make a new time for later, but we'll move on to something else." And so I did it. And no, I didn't finish. But boy, I was amazed on how much I did get done. And I ended up using that all through college through 3 degrees. I understood, and I would always take a break, take lots and lots of breaks, because it helps you to focus intensely on those minutes that you're really focusing. Well, this is the thing. I get up into my 40s or 50s, and all of a sudden, I'm trying to write my book, and I notice I'm not an editor, and everything that everybody else is seeing, I'm not seeing. This is the first time I've noticed this. And I'm like, what's going on? I find out I'm dyslexic. Everybody knew it, but nobody told me. Now, you'd say, oh, they did you a big disservice. There's so many services out there. But I'll tell you what, I have 3 3/4 degrees in universities with a 3.9 average. I didn't have to use the services. I learned how, because I didn't label it, I never felt like I was at a disadvantage. All these tools I was learning was just to help me get better and more focused as far as I was concerned. Do you see the difference? I couldn't lay on a crutch of any sort. And because I never learned how to lean on a crutch, to this day, I don't lean on a crutch. It's very big. It's humongous. Nothing took away from me that knowing that I have everything I need inside me, no matter where I am or what so-called disability I may have. If it even is. It's just learning differently. It's really not even that. But still, everything. I have what I need. But if I rely on that, then I will limit myself because I am putting the stone in the dirt. And that's the same thing with fear. Fear is a labeling. Fear is I can't do. Fear is it's not possible. Fear is putting you in a box just like anything else. And the best thing you can do is to face that fear. And that's what that meditation helps you to do. How are other ways? I really do feel that you have to face the fear because the fear, when you first start, it masks itself as something else, such as we're not going to be able to do that. But there's something deeper there that you have to look at because of course you can do that. I mean, that's silly. You can. Of course you can meet the demand. You just have to build it now. And because you're aware of it, start building it. Why fear it? So there's something deeper. And that's why you have to look at it. You have to look at what is the core belief that's causing you to believe that. And if you don't want it, then disperse it. It's your choice. You're always in control of that. But you have to look at the core belief, or else it'll just pop up in another way because it's an old core critical mind belief. There's something in your life when you were growing up that somebody said that you kind of grabbed hold of that sometimes success brought ill, or nobody ever succeeds that deserves it, or some silly thing like that. And you've got to look at that and then disperse it because it's not true. Okay, that's how we deal with it. How many times do we allow these core beliefs, these things that these critical mind beliefs to break us from our divine connection with the anchor of the divine, of everything we need to know? How often do we let that happen? How often do we have to put our habits first? Habits are based on what we're comfortable with or what we fear will happen if we let go. And that's really important because it's our habits that create our success. So take a look in your life. Where is it that these core beliefs that are not serving you popping up and sabotaging your success? That shouldn't take long. They're there and they're very present. Take a look at that because each one of those little core beliefs that don't serve you anymore, they were good at one point, but they're not. I call them the critical mind. That's the mind that says, oh, you can't do that. You can't possibly serve all those people when they come. What are you going to do? Your business is going to go under right now. And they're very convincing. But what's that core belief that's giving you those comments, that critical mind? Because those are the only boulders you will ever have if you truly are connected. And those pop up, then you got to disperse them so you can go around them. Nothing is worth breaking the connection with the divineness in you or the flow and ease of life. Nothing. I know there are things that we have to do in life. I know that. I mean, I'm looking at having my mother move in. Now, that's quite a quandary right there. And I do love her, but I don't know. With both of us in the house, that's going to be an interesting thing. But, and yes, I do know that. But am I not going to do it? I have to do it. Is it going to interrupt the flow? It may for a day or two. It may. We got to figure out some logistics and some personal. We got to get used to each other. But am I going to let it do it? No, I'm not. I'm going to play my Aaron Copland in the car. I am going to go out in the trees more. I am going to keep my schedule as much as possible. I am going to work with her. I'm going to help her to adapt to our family as much as possible. And when she gets sick and tired of us, we are still keeping her house so she can go back there for a little while and get a break from the liveliness of my house. You know, I'm coming up with a way for us both to have ease and flow in this transition. Because to me, I know that if I break from the ease and the flow, that I'm breaking from the connection. I'm not trusting. I'm taking over. She's going to move into this house. Darn it. Because her memory's not good. She's going to, and darn that dog, we just can't fit it in. We're going to get rid of it. Well, that would be terrible. She has a dog. So we've got to figure out how to bring the dog too. It's a bossy dog. But do you see, if I took control, I'm off the flow. Instead, I'm on the flow thinking creatively. And this is what it does. It's a stronger approach because you open up your heart. You have enough faith to be authentic, and your heart. This happens with everything. So I'm not going to get rid of her dog because it means so much to her. I'm not going to just push her into a situation that she really can't deal with. That's why we're going to keep her house and have her go back and forth. Everything is built in a creative way, and it's spirit that's leading it, not me. But all I have to do is I have to open up my heart, and I have to just say no to the fear that it's all going to be fine. That she is going to be fine in the house, that I am going to be fine. We're going to do this transition the best way, and if it doesn't work, we'll think of another way. That's the same thing for your business. That's the same thing for your love life. It's the same thing for your family. It's the same thing for yourself. It's a different way of looking at it. It's having that belief. That's what true manifestation is, and that's true living in the flow. I think for all of us, take a look. This is not a fast transition in your life. I mean, most of us like having a lot of control. And it's really funny because it's taking responsibility to give away to the divine. How do you like that? Isn't that interesting? It's taking responsibility for your life, but then trusting that the anchor that you have of the universe is going to take care of you. So then it's surrendering. Isn't that an interesting concept? But it's important. You can't blame little Susie over there for whatever. You can't blame your marketing team because they were doing so awful. Why didn't you step in earlier? You know what I mean? You got to just own it and say, okay, I'm going to take that back, and then I'm going to trust. And I believe that everything will happen the way it's supposed to happen, and I can do this. And that's for the business owner, the co-business owner. That's how you have to feel. Okay, I know that I have this business growing. We want growth. Yes. I'm just going to start putting out the foundation and say, God, universe, guide me. What's the best? How do I prepare for this? Do I need to prepare? And then start doing whatever you need to do to offer that service. Say no to the fear. Disperse it. You don't need it. So you have had two very big topics this time. I commend you. I really do. You guys, I just love it. I couldn't have better questions. And every time we do Ask Alena, I get better and better questions. I hope you do enjoy what I'm telling you. And I do hope you find those nuggets, those magical nuggets to use in your life. If you want to learn more or you're having trouble with this kind of transition, guys, that's why I'm here. And you can go to Soul Manifesto. I think, and I know I have a contact page. Just write in there, say, Alena, I heard you on the radio show. I want to learn this. Or Alena, I'm having trouble with this, or whatever. You can just contact me and I'll help you. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's why I'm here. That's why I write the books. That's why I talk on the radio show. That's why I do everything that I do. That's why I'm on social media. Because really, you deserve to live the reason you came down here. I do feel that we get lost in all the crap. I do. I think we just get lost in conforming. We get lost in the social media. We waste time. We sit down. I can even do that sometimes. I have my day where I sit down and turn on Netflix, and oh my gosh, if you open up that can of worms, you're done for the day. Everybody has that, but to do that on a continual basis and let it absorb you and take over you. And and society is full of blame, pressure, always feeling like you're not enough. You're never on time. You're always pushing. You got to hurry. You got to hurry. You got to do. You got to meet demands. It's not like that. The world is not like that. Sure, you have to do things. If you're working a job, I get that. But you don't have to chase your tail while you do it. There's an ease and flow. And it's funny, when you're in the ease and the flow, this is what's so cool. You actually get everything done. You don't have the fear. You don't have the doubt. You don't have that pushing yourself. You don't have that deprivation. That's what it is. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I got to hurry. I got to hurry. You're depriving yourself. And when you don't do that, and you just do it. You do it with a flow. That's Wu Wei. Wu Wei. And I love saying that. It's such a funny word. Wu Wei. It means just doing it with a flow. Not worrying. You're just enjoying the journey. You're not getting all harried and chasing your tail and going, I don't know, I got to get out of here. I got to get this done. I'm going to be late. All right, start out a little bit earlier. Or just get yourself in there. You're going to be late. You're going to be late. Call them and tell them you're going to be late. I do. I'm going to be 10 minutes. Sorry. And I'm on my way. I'm not going to amp out. I'm going to do my best. I always do my best, but I'm not going to amp out. It's a different way of living. But it keeps you in flow with the universe and trusting. When we start getting our ego involved, when we start getting all the fears, gosh, we really have created quite obstacles for ourselves. But when we start not relying on that, and when we really start trusting and having a firm belief that we have everything we need and we are anchored to that universe, everything changes. You got to allow it to change. That's what you have to do, allow. And I do want to talk a little bit about one thing we are doing. I have actually a fantastic free webinar coming up. And it's on Facebook. So if you're not on Facebook, well, I don't know what to tell you. You got to borrow a friend's phone or something and get onto Facebook. And it's on fear. We'll get into here. I gave you a little. Well, I told you to just disperse it, and that's good. But now we're going to talk a little bit more about it because it is more of a topic that takes a little more time. So if you're interested and really want to conquer this fear, and it's interesting, I've interviewed Elizabeth Gilbert, and she has another way. I love it because there's never just one way of doing things. You listen to what I have to say. You listen to what she has to say. You listen to the Tao thing I also gave you. That's what I do. I look up a million different ways, and then I decide what's good for me, what I resonate with. So this wonderful fear webinar I'm doing, I'm trying to bring you at least 4 different ways, and you will see which one aligns with you. We're not all the same. What works for me doesn't always work for you. That's why I offer you different. If you're really interested in that, go to soulmanifesto.com. It really is the answer. And look for that webinar. If you're on Facebook, we've got the ads out there for that webinar. Or just message me, Alena Chapman. You can do that. I'm very accessible. And say, hey, I'm really interested in this webinar, and I'll get you on. All right? Everything is about you and getting you into that flow and that betterment and ease. So you have been listening to Magical Moments, and what a magical moment it was. You got lots of nuggets in here for ease and betterment in your life.
This has been Magical Moments with Alena, featuring Alena Chapman. If you miss an episode, you can download it now from your favorite podcast platform, including iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Castbox, Deezer, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts.
Podcasts by Federated Media.